Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Chester. I wanted to share with you guys some tips and tricks that I found out through experience, and I felt like it's best to talk to them now early that the game is out before you guys start creating bad habits. Also, in the background, I decided to put some gameplay from my previous matches. On the right, you'll see my battle deck, my current battle deck. I recently got the witch, so I have no knowledge about her, so if I play her wrong, I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, so let's start off with tip number one. I got an itch. Tip number one: to build a good deck, I would say get to know your cards. Getting to know your cards is one of the most important parts of your building a good deck. Pay attention to how much elixir each card costs and the damage they can do. Also, try them out in combination with other cards to see which works best together. For example, I found the Giant and the Musketeer worked out nicely as a team. The more you become familiar with the types of damage different cards can do, the attacks they can withstand, and the card combos that work, the better your deck will be. Tip number two also goes in hand with tip number one. Tip number two would be make small changes to your decks and analyze results. This really goes up with the earlier tip, but to figure out the best cards that work together, you should make very small changes to your deck. You can trade out one or two cards and play a few battles and see how you are impacted. If you don't like it, you can always go back, but if you do like it, you stay. If you drastically change your deck every battle, it becomes too difficult to see what works and what doesn't for you. And then another deck tip. You might be tempted to fill out your deck with nothing but heavy hitters, but the more damage a card does, the more elixir it costs to deploy it. If you fill your deck with a card that are mostly 4 or 5 elixir, you won't be able to move it out as quickly or as often. So some of the lighter cards with archers and goblins really come in handy as backups, and they move quickly, so definitely balance your deck with both in heavy hitters and light cards. You can check the average amount of elixir, of course, of your deck cost by tapping the deck and looking at the average elixir stat listed in purple. It's best to keep this number between, I would say, something like 3.5 to 5. Anything above that, the most I would push was 5. It would be 5.5 at the moment. Anything above that, you really want to take it down because you might be hurting yourself. Tip number 4. Tip number 4 would be if the first hand you're dealt with is weak, play defensively. Your hand of cards is randomly dealt, so you really have no choice which cards end up in your initial lineup. If you find your lineup is pretty weak and contains mostly light cards, hold back for a few and let your opponent attack first. This way you can only build up more elixir. You can see which tower he or she is coming after, and you can properly defend it. If any of your troops survive that initial battle, they'll be perfectly positioned to support an offensive attack when you get some stronger cards in your hand. Yes. Tip number 5. Tip number 5 would be to take advantage of the kill zone. The longer I play, the more I realize good defense can make or break you. One good defensive strategy for beginners is to practice using the kill zone. The kill zone is basically the middle area of your side of the field. When you have attackers coming at you, don't meet at them at the bridge. Instead, hold them off for a couple seconds. Let them come over, and then slap some goblins or any other card you choose, preferably quicker troops. Down in the center of the kill zone, this will distract most of the tower they are headed for. As they come towards your troops in the kill zone, they are being struck by arrows, cannonballs from towers. This will help quickly weaken the attacker and stop the attack from happening or weakening its impact. So yeah, as you can see, I put the archers on the corner of the kill zone, but I wanted to move quickly into the offense right here, so I tend to set them on the bridge. And I set the suicide terrorist in a mini behind the giant. Seeing that the giant has enough HP, I thought I could take down the right tower quickly. And so then I stick down the goblins to take down the giant. I feel like goblins do a great job against a giant. And then I stick a knight because I really didn't want him to do that much damage to my tower. So then yeah, the suicide terrorist gets kind of get blown up. Myself and my nicknames. You see that on the right screen with my battle deck. You see this skeleton army. I tend to call that Larry and Squad because you get to meet Larry and his friends Harry, Jerry, Mary, etc. So I call it Larry and the Squad. The archers I call Allison. It's a TV show reference. If you know what TV show I'm talking about, leave it down in the comments. Hopefully you guys watch the same TV shows as I do. And then, of course, the bomber with the glasses in my battle deck on top row, all the way to the right. I call him Suicide Terrorist. And then the meanie, I call him the meanie PEKKK. I call him either meanie or Wally. So yeah. But back to my tips. Tip number 6 would be manage your elixir resources by holding back. I've made some mistakes. I've made a lot when first playing the game. Was going too aggressively and throwing anyone on an attack I could. The strategy works about as well as trying to sprint through a marathon. Yeah. Every second during battle, you give 1 point of elixir buildup. If you are planning an attack, it's usually good to wait until you save up enough elixir to deploy a couple of cards in combination. For example, we all know how powerful the giant is, but making sure he has a backup troop makes the giant last longer and deal more damage. You might be tempted to throw out 3 or 4 cards on one attack, but it's better to hold back and see what your combos do first. By deploying every card you have on a target, you leave yourself no elixir from defending against the attacks your opponent will send your way. While it may look like you are winning at first, if you ignore your defenses, you ultimately lose. In this case, I did not know. I was shocked to see that guy on a horse, the knight on a horse. I've never seen it before, so I didn't know how to defend it. So I was like, wow, and I got distracted. Also had this gold chest right here. I think it was the gold one. I should have probably opened that before I went into that battle. But yeah. And then I guess my last tip would be manage your gold wisely. Being choosy about upgrades. It's very tempting. It's very tempting to fudge. No. Let's see. So yeah, like I was saying, it's very tempting at first to upgrade every card you possibly can, but it's far more effective to be choosy about your upgrades. Generally, I'd stick to upgrading most common cards since they are cheaper. Also, only use your gold to upgrade cards you use frequently and like. Free chests are given to you at regular intervals, and you get a chest when you win a battle, so you will be able to upgrade the cards along the way from the goodies you get in those chests. Gold is really hard to come by in the game, so being careful about how you spend it will make a difference for your deck and the number of battles you win. These are my 7 tips, guys. I think these tips can carry you out further along the game really good if you build a foundation around them. Let's see, yeah. So you can see me on all-out offensive mode right here. The giant rep digger. That's my girlfriend. And so, yeah. So I wanted to keep the offensive momentum. That's why I built sent the musketeer on the left side, and then I noticed that his troops were coming down, so I sent the archers on the kill zone, like I mentioned before. And then his goblins, I tried to take the advantage of the counterattack right here, putting the giant on his territory and then putting the mini on behind him. Oh no, that wasn't mine. That was his. He spawns his right on top of mine. But yeah, he spawns his right on top of mine. And so Then now he's countering me after I put the giant there. I'm not a big fan of the fireball. I don't know why. I'm not feeling it. I don't feel the burn. But yes, that's why I have it on the bench. Sorry, got a itch. But yeah, I'm in the offense right here. Last 60 seconds, power hour. You know, even though there's seconds, power minute. That's what it'd be. Power minute, double elixir. You know. So I go balls to the wall right now. Try to take advantage of taking down his tower with the witch, and bam, I do 3-0. That's how I win the game, just like a soccer game. YouTube Chester 24. So I got a silver chest from this. Add another one to the chest slot. So yeah, taking me a while to find the energy to find a new battle. Let's go. So I'm gonna wait to build my elixir. Then I start my giant off from the back, so I get more time. And he starts his giant earlier. I notice I have archers, so I tend to start from the back, and I also want the bomber because I know they have range. And then he sends out his knight, and so I send out Wally behind my giant in hopes of taking offensive. But then I noticed he took down my tower quickly. I really wasn't paying attention to my tower, so now I have to make up for it. And so I try to take advantage all the momentum and take his tower down. He lets me take his tower down, and I go straight for the. I send a musketeer to go to the main tower, the castle. He has his giant, put the archers in the kill zone like a breach. Put the bomber at a distance so he can take him down. That fireball, I really don't see use. It only does 200 HP, yet it costs a lot of elixir. I got myself a medieval battle right there with the knights. Them arrows, I'm also not a big fan of the arrows. I got a suicide bomber and a knight going down the bridges. Knight can't really handle the spears, the goblins with the spears. But yeah, got that giant. Also put down Wally, hoping he can take down the giant with the help of the goblins. So let's go. I feel myself having this almost power minute, so you know I'm starting to put down more, but that fireball really does come in handy there, I guess you could say. And so put down the knight, put down the witch behind him, and also the goblins. And so then he has this horse, and it's this. I see it again, and I'm like, what do I do? So I get crazy, and I start just putting down everything there because I know that knight on a horse is really strong. So last 30 seconds, balls to the wall. Start putting everything down there. I put some of my troops on the right side as a distraction. Hopefully he'll go down that way. Take that 2-1 lead. 17 seconds left. I don't think he can come back from this. 10 seconds. In that case, you know. Yep. Trying to take the tower down before. Yep. Got it. That 31 to win, guys. And that golden chest. Yes, this feels good. Winning always feels good. Searching for a tournament. Let's go. Goblin Stadium. Pretty cool game. Like I said before, guys, if you guys see any way I can improve my game, let me know in the comment section. I'm always looking to improve. And also, if you do leave a comment, a tip in the bottom, please put some logic behind it. Like, tell me why you think it's good and a good idea. So, because I'm a logical guy, I like to think things out. I like to do things that make sense. So yeah, so I started playing this guy, and I noticed he had level 6 goblins, or whatever. I think those are goblins. I'm not sure what it was, but level 6, and I started panicking, and so I started putting So I was like, all right, this is gonna be a good match. If I win this, it's gonna be good. So I play strategically, you know, Killzone Knight, Killzone Archers, Killzone Knight, and I put the goblins on the outside in hopes of them catching up to the opponent's archers. And then he has the spear guys come out, go for the counterattack with the distraction on the left. I don't know why sometimes I do distractions, but it's funny. Then I put mini PK and I wait for until sometimes so I can spawn it on him. And the mini PK goes. Then he has that big giant and he's pushing me back. So then I get the musketeer. And I'm waiting because I know power minute is coming through. Balls to the wall, you know what that means. And I try to trap his archers, but they don't get close enough. But then I notice that they do. Oh, all right. So I have momentum right now. I wait for a minute because I see power minute coming. Once power minute's here, I'm gonna go balls to the wall. Notice his left side's weak, so I put my giant there, of course, first. Wait for it to fill. He puts his giant on his right side. I have to put the goblins. I wish I could have put the goblins on the left side, but I have to put the goblins. And they go down quickly. That was a miss hit. Then I had to, causing me to lose my momentum on the left side. So I had to put the, so I have to defend myself from the tower. He has total momentum right here, guys. I'm not sure how to get out. So I try to put the giant to stop them. And then the momentum switches, which is funny. Yeah, this game is a lot about momentum, and as you can see, it tends to switch if you're not careful with it. If you can be, keep sending down in intervals. Keep sending troops in intervals, so that you can keep momentum. So you could get a 1-0 point lead, and I try to defend it like crazy because I know I only have 166. Luckily, he doesn't carry the fireball, because then we would have been in trouble. Yep, 1-0 win. Sometimes a 1 goal is good. It's just what you need. So yeah, guys, if you like this video, leave a like, comment, and it's your boy Chester, and I'll see you later.